We're now listening to Wealthy Sistas Radio Show. We're now listening to Wealthy Sistas with Deborah Hartnett.
Welcome back. You are now listening to part 2 of episode Talk Less, Sell More, Secrets of Nonverbal Sales Influence. Enjoy.
And then what if she said this? Okay, hold on, stop the press. The queens have walked in. The queens have walked in. See, we would go, oh, okay.
Compliment. So we've got you got to be able to relate. So let's break down, how can people relate? You mentioned, finding out probably what they're there for,
Absolutely.
and we talked about compliment. Hey, queens, being able to compliment someone genuinely, right?
Stop right there, Deborah, what you just said. And everyone listening, all y'all wealthy sisters listening, hear what she just said. Genuinely. Now, let me tell you why genuinely is critical. Because you could say it with your words, but your body language and your facial expressions will give the real meaning. Because remember, it's 55% and more. Your facial expressions and your body language will give the signal that you don't really mean it. That's why people will say this. I don't know. I know it sounds good. You'll hear somebody say, and you'll go in a presentation. Yeah, it sounds good, but girl, I don't know. Something ain't right. That's the body language talking, and the body speaks louder than the words. And when you make it genuine, Deborah, genuine is this. Don't tell someone, hear me out now. It could be their face lighting up. They could be beautiful, this and this and that. Find something genuine to compliment that's authentic to you. Don't tell someone they have $1 million smile and they got 2 teeth in their head and they can eat corn on the cob through a picket fence. Don't tell them that. Remember, Deborah?
No, she missed her comedian call, so she.
But Deborah, you know how folks always used to do with when they have friends that have babies. You know what friends that have brand new newborn babies? Where everybody say they so beautiful. Child, now y'all know deep down in your heart, some of them little babies. Come on, y'all. Come on now, y'all. But we say,
a bundle of love.
That's what you do. That's how you think, because that would be from the authentic place. New life, a bundle of love. Don't say the baby is beautiful and you think it in your head. Now watch this, y'all. Don't say the baby is beautiful and you think it in your head. That little baby look like E.T. warmed over, because it's going to come out in your expressions. So I love it. A bundle of love, new life.
So we talking about that building rapport, right? And let's give them one other thing, because I know there's others that you have, but with the time constraint, we've talked about building rapport. We are going to let them know something that they're looking for and to relate with them, and we're going to give them a compliment. What's another way we can do to connect with that client?
So the key thing is to find out as much as you possibly can about the client. People don't want to hear about us, how great and awesome we are. They want to be edified and they want to be heard, because in this world that is so what I call it a fast food world, where because of the technology of social media, we want things instantly, quick. People don't hardly sit down and spend time with people anymore. People don't have to sit down and have conversations at the lunch or dinner or the breakfast table anymore. People don't even sit in the park anymore. It's always through technology, whatever. So when someone takes the time to have a genuine interest as to what's important to the other person, now the individual is going to feel someone, they hear me, they see me, they feel me, meaning they get me. And that's the thing that helps you break down those walls. Because this person has a genuine interest in me, I now want to invoke the law of reciprocity. See, Deborah, if you walk into a store and I'm behind you, it'd be a complete stranger, and the person opened up the door in front of you, held the door open in front of you, the law of reciprocity, you're going to pay it back. You see me behind you, and then you open up the door. You see what I mean? So
Mhm.
by you listening and validating, excuse me, and caring about that individual and what's important to them, guess what's going to take place? There now says, look, I know what this is. You've listened to me. I now want to listen to you. And therefore now your presentation, your sales presentation is landing in an open field rather than a closed one.
That's right. And I love the fact you mentioned that because of course the show's topic is talk less, sell more. So when we talk about
Yes,
talk less, sell more, the secrets of nonverbal sales influence, right? Asking questions. You just alluded to that. Um, the importance of asking the right questions. Can you elaborate on that?
absolutely. The importance of asking the right questions will allow you to say less and
Mhm.
observe more. So, for
And just the
example,
fact that we need to ask questions, that we're not just there to regurgitate.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because asking the questions allows you to peel the onion. It allows you to get to the core of what's going on. It's like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Do we just bite it and get right in and get the Tootsie Pop? How many licks does it take? So what it does, it allows you to go in deeper, peel the onion, and to not only hear the response, that's not what you're just looking for. You're looking for the physical response, their nonverbal communication. So let me give you a good example. There was a friend years ago that was in a relationship that all of us friends, we knew was a bit toxic. Okay. But
Okay.
sometimes people who are in their relationships, they may see things a little bit different, or they
Right.
may feel something different. They have their other reasons. So
Right.
eventually she finally broke up with this individual. And so, but we knew, at least I knew, that she was not over the individual. Some people, it takes time. So, and someone said, girl, I heard you broke up with, I'm going to use another name, Kevin. I heard you broke up with Kevin. And she responded, yes, honey, I'm done with Kevin. Now watch now. She says, I'm done with Kevin. And then I made this comment because there was a couple of us together. I made the comment and says, girl, it's a good thing you're done with Kevin because Kevin have you heard? Have you heard? Kevin has moved on. Now guess what she did? She froze. She froze. Why would she freeze? Deborah, why
Right.
would she freeze? Why didn't
Right.
she respond with the hand
She
like
still was
dismiss?
holding
You get
on.
what I
It
mean?
was still
Yeah,
affecting her.
it was still it,
She wasn't
that's it.
finished. She wasn't done with Kevin.
Now remember now, my question was, did you hear that Kevin has moved on?
Hmm.
Simple question. See,
Right. You didn't
she
say he
didn't.
had. You just
Okay, there it
asked.
is. There it
Uh,
is. There it
uh,
is. There it is.
uh,
There it is, y'all.
uh,
Did you hear what Deborah just said? She didn't say anything. Remember, you could talk more. You could talk more and
uh,
hear. You could
mhm,
talk less and hear more simply through their
mhm,
nonverbal. She
mhm,
didn't say one word when I asked the question.
mhm,
Because I knew. Did you hear that
mhm,
Kevin has moved on? She
mhm,
froze.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
So Deborah, why didn't she respond? Huh? Good luck to the that's somebody else. She didn't do none of that. She
Because she
froze.
was still holding. She was still locked and loaded, having hope.
That's it.
Hmm.
That's it. So
Hmm.
so now what you do if you are a sales, and by the way, all of you are in sales. If you're serving someone, you're in sales. So here's what you want to remember. Go through your needs analysis, if that's what you call it, your discovery process, if that's what you call it, whatever you do, whatever your process or your protocol for asking questions, because you got to have a system, because the system is how you leverage and grow your business, where you could teach and build your sales organization. Otherwise, it's just you trying to grow and thrive. You can make millions or you can make millions, you see, and that's by having a system. So, and what I still do to this day, Deborah, I go around the world and I still train on that in sales and body language. But I can walk on a sales floor, particularly in the resort industry, and tell if the deal is going to go down just by the body language, and not even sitting on the table to hear the conversation, just telling from the body language of the customer, of the client, whether they're in the deal or out of the deal, where they're sitting at the table and all of a sudden their body language shifts because they're turning towards the door. Feet are pointed in the direction we want to go. So that lets me know that one or both of the parties is done. When the husband, for example, is turned towards the door, where the wife is still leaning in and in the deal, but he's done with it, he's out of it, but yet you're still pitching to the wife. And even though if mama's not happy, nobody's happy, but there's some other factors that are involved. We don't know what sales conversation that can take place when they leave the room and the deal is done. So he may say, okay, you're not going to get the remodeled kitchen that you want because we spent it on this. You're not going to get this and this and that. The next thing you know, you got rescission because you didn't recognize or speak to the nonverbal language of both parties to be able to take the temperature. So it's critical. So Linda, what do we need to do? Help us, Linda. Help us, Linda. Well, Big Sis is going to help you. Auntie Linda's here. What we're going to do is you're going to go over your questions and ask when I ask this question, what is the verbal response that I'm hoping to get? And you write that down. What is the verbal response that I don't want to get? And you write that down. And in your notebook or your spreadsheet or whatever you're doing, your electronic journal, whatever you have, whatever floats your boat. And I want you to write down, what does the nonverbal response look like to the answer? What does it look like to the positive answer? Oh, Deborah, we could have Deborah, you may have to bring all the wealthy sisters together, girl, and have a wealthy sister weekend. Because this is just a Costco appetizer. I know you're going around and getting samples again, but baby, I'm going to have you buy it out of the freezer. This is the appetizer. So when you write down, and these are secrets that no one's ever told you, where you going to get it from, wealthy sisters? Okay, so check this out. So what does someone look like? Here's the first thing. What does someone look like when you ask the child, do you want to go see Mickey? What does the child say? Yes, right? Okay, yay. What does the body language look like? What are they doing? Are they
They're
sitting down? Are they crying? Are they
jumping
elevated?
up and down,
Okay,
jumping up and
okay.
down.
Okay, now, Deborah. So this is why I'll take average sales professionals, take them to above average, and I
Mhm.
take above average sales professionals to superstar level. Then I take the superstar professionals to supernatural levels. Right. So, and just mastering that. So lots of times when I'm on stage and people have watched my videos, and by the way, if you're listening, y'all follow me on Instagram at Linda Clemmons, Clemmons with one M. It's like the word lemons with the C in front of it. Not sour, but sweet. Okay. But that's what happens. I take them to supernatural level because they automatically laser in every time I ask this question. I just did my little test here. The kids, they all jump up and down. Recess, they all jump up and down. Well, guess what? Adults are simply grown-up kids. So when they get excited, guess what? I've got something special for you. I got something special for you to help you be able to achieve your dreams. Are you ready for it? Yes, they elevate themselves. So all of your questions where you get the positive yes. All of your questions when you've gotten a no. What does the no look like? I hear a no. It was no when they walked in the door. No, don't get any lower than no. But I want to know what a no looks like. Show me what a no looks like. And when you begin to master that, but Deborah, here's the thing. What has made me the top producer in every organization that I've worked for is having the ability to be able to do that. Whereas people would say, you see my stage presentations, people always say, are you spiritual? Yes, I am. Are you connected to a higher power? Absolutely. But in addition, am I observant, attentive? I have a high emotional intelligence. Working on all of that allows me to see the invisible. Come on, y'all, and hear the inaudible. Be able to see what it is that they're not saying. And
Right.
gosh, this is so important. And just if y'all just listen, Deborah, if they just do that, that's some homework now. That's some homework, Deborah. That's some
What is
homework right there.
what you're doing speaks so loud I can't hear a word you're
Come on.
saying.
That's Emerson. That's Emerson. See, that's one of my favorite quotes. I
Yeah,
cannot hear what you're saying because
yeah,
who you are being is getting in the way. So
Yes.
come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
So when we're winding down our time here again with the one and only Linda Clemmons. I have to find the to try to get her back so that we can do a part two to this topic today. But as we talk about talk less, sell more, which are the secrets of nonverbal sales influence. You want to influence, right? That's I was going to say something else, but just unpacking real quick what sales really is as far as influence. We're not convincing, but we are influencing to help people make the decision themselves. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
another saying they say is a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still.
Right.
So they have to have that buy-in. So what is that? How does this tie into, or what would we need to say as far as the importance of understanding the fundamentals of this being influence?
Well, see, the thing is, when you use the power of influence, it's because at that particular level, you are looked at as someone that has persuasive powers. You possess that charismatic energy as well. You possess that commitment and conviction in your delivery. You cannot sell me something that gives me energy and you look like you're tired and wore out.
And that speaks to what we're talking about, the authenticity, and we didn't talk about that, the importance of being a part of something that speaks to your core value. If it's
Absolutely.
against your core values, like being a Muslim, I'm not going to be able to sell alcohol. I'm not going to be able to do that because
Or you may not have and you probably ain't gonna have a barbecue shop either with pork and ribs.
no, no, no. And then being a health fanatic is,
See,
very hard for me to be a pharmaceutical sales rep.
so,
That's
see,
just not
so,
gonna. But
and and Deborah, repeat that quote that you said of a man's mind of his still. Repeat that so the people can
yeah,
hear
yeah,
that
yeah.
again.
A man convinced against his will, because that's what people think. You gotta wrangle somebody down and try to convince them. But a man, or a woman, convinced against their will is of the same opinion still, which means if you're like an insurance sales, you're gonna have uh I can't you're gonna have a charge back. Those in
Wow.
insurance understand you if you're convincing somebody, they're gonna return it. All they if they're gonna return it, they're not buying in. You need them to buy in. So that's why this word influence is important.
And Deborah, and to
Because
mention on that too, they also will be resentful because they feel that you manipulated them.
right after they get through, because there are people out there that do think that that's what sales is all about. But I don't call myself a salesperson. I am someone to relay information. I'm sharing information of something that I believe in. And I
Absolutely.
put it out there. If you want it, you got to want it. But I got to set the stage and listen, in my skill sets, like you're saying, to be able to ask the right questions, to say the
But
right things.
But guess what, though, Deborah? People are not hearing. Y'all listen up. People are not hearing what it is that you're saying. They're looking at what you do. See, they're
Right,
not just hearing your talk, they're watching your walk. My
right.
granny would say, baby, I would rather see a sermon than hear one. It's in your walk. So that's why it's what you do is so convicting. And
Mhm,
that's the part that will have influence. So people could dog you out. And then others would say, I don't care what you say. I
mhm.
know what he or she has done for me. I don't care what you say. I know what he has done in that community and made a difference. So that's when the action speaks louder than the words. And
Wow.
that's where your influence comes through your commitment, your conviction, your demonstration your demonstration and your ability. Listen up, y'all. Listen up to not only follow up, follow through, and stay in the during the test. See, some folks got the bam bam, thank you, man, kind of sales process. Ooh, and they cha-ching, counting their little commission, counting doing this, and never ever followed up and made sure, because I don't want to hear from somebody once a year. Like, where
Right.
have you been the whole time? Then all of a sudden now it's time to re-up the contract and I'm hearing from you and you're going to ask me, how am I doing? Well, you know what? Life has been life for the last 364 days before you showed up. And see, we
And
don't realize that.
that's it. Go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
And see, and that's why we don't get the referrals, Deborah. That's why you don't get
Yes.
referrals. You ain't gonna refer somebody to somebody that made you feel a certain kind of way. But guess what? If they've elevated and given you information that can help you transform your life, your business, your health, or whatever that may be, you're gonna tell the world. You're going to tell others about it. And that's
That's
what Disney used to say, do what you do so well that people would tell others and others will pay you to do it. They'll come see you do it. And that's what you do. So that's the power of your influence just by your presence. Here this person comes. Oh, I can't wait to hear what he or she has to say. You haven't even opened your mouth, but just the power of your presence. Here's what I want every one of y'all to do if you're listening. Follow me, but here's the deal what I want you to do. I want you to send emails to Deborah that she needs to have, because she used to do these powerful events. She needs to have we need to do an in-person event. She needs to host a weekend and bring all of y'all together so we can share the strategies and ideas. And she bring in all her sister friends and brother friends so we can all pour into each other. Y'all send that email to her. Start a petition.
You know what? And and I was going to say earlier what you were talking about, because we haven't spoken about this. That was a commercial for our service. Let us say thank you.com. The
Oh my
follow up,
gosh.
because we are the first recognition concierge service in the world.
I love it.
Truly send out cards, thank you cards, birthday cards on a regular schedule to your clientele to keep, because that's where your base, your customer base, when you need new business, is always from the business
Oh,
that
I
you are.
love that. Because, that's what send out cards used to do. That's
Yes,
what
we,
it is.
we actually pick out the cards. We actually do the work. We
Wow.
take it a step further. We do the work. So because it takes a lot of time to go through all the different
Oh,
cards,
that is
all
awesome.
yeah. So we do that for the busy professionals as well.
You know
But
what? We need to chat about that because there's a lot of businesses that need to have the opportunity to be a keynote speaker and an MC for send out cards at their
yeah,
national convention. And I'm telling you, the sweet flavor that the way you're doing this, I'm
yeah,
telling you, that's a hot commodity right now. Y'all
yeah.
get in the wind, baby.
Get in to win. Well, I'm telling you this again. We've had none other than the one and only legendary Linda Clemmons, CEO of Sisterpreneur, my big sis. I'm so excited to have you here. One last word. I'll ask you this in closing to give them this so that they can think about it. And we're going to be able to have you back on. I know,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
But what is the biggest body language mistake a salesperson can make? There's something they can stop doing right now or be aware of what they may be doing in the process of their daily sales runs.
So one of the things, and Deborah, if we can do, and if it, with your permission, the next time we come together, if it's possible, with your permission, and I'm going to honor your respect and honor your protocol, where we can have you do a special event where we could see everybody live and we could do
Yes,
demonstrations. That would be fun. Like Mama used to say, I can show you better than I can tell you. But one of the things that you all want to remember is you have to be aware of the signals, the nonverbal cues that you're sending out. We can all tell each other, girl, like I knew you was upset. I knew you was upset because every time you do this, you begin to bite your lip. You go, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. I knew when they announced changes in the company, girl, you set it up and folded those arms. You were locked and loaded. I didn't do that. Yes, you did.
yes,
Sometimes we can't see the picture because we're in the frame. So when
right.
you have that self-awareness that helps you with your relationship management, your social awareness as well. But is to thine own self be true, you have to be aware of what you do. And sometimes we don't realize that because we've established habits, be it good or bad. And just a book for your reading Charles Duhigg, I always recommend it. It has a best-selling book, been out there a long, long time, called The Power of Habit. Once you understand that, it also helps you with that cycle. So you can say, man, I do that every time somebody gets on my nerves, my lips lock up. I do this like I just want to bite, but see, you may not know it because the body is automatically, subconsciously and non-consciously reacting to the stimuli of what's happening. When you're aware that every time Pookie says this, he gets on your nerves, then you're going to say, you know what? I'm not going to react that way. I'm going to react from this role here, from the world role of the observer, so that I'm going to stay neutral and not have any of my emotions deposited into anything that I'm not clear on what the return's going to be. See, the returns will be negative based on your reaction. So it's the key thing that I want to get everyone to remember is just say to your friends, your loved ones, people that been around you, and says, girl, what do I do? How do you know when I'm upset? Just ask them that question. I was like, Deborah, how do you know I'm upset, girl? Because every time you upset, girl, you do this. So then you're going to say, I do, because you don't know it. You're in the picture, or you're in the frame, you can't see the picture. But once you become, like she said, when I get upset or someone mentioned about change, I always do this, then you could become aware of it, because if you could see it, if you could name it, you can tame it.
All
And that's
right.
my thoughts.
Mic drop. Oh, wow. So, sis, where can they find you and
Yes,
how can
yes,
they get in
darling.
contact with you?
Well, they're gonna find me back here because I said to you I'm coming back to play with you. We're gonna
That's
find me
right.
back
That's
here.
right.
So
That's right.
y'all heard it's on tape, right? So yeah, please follow me on Instagram because my niece, says, Auntie, you got to get people to follow you because when you're old school like we were for back in the day, we still do the old fashioned networking. I'm up to date. I am up to date. But if you could follow me on Instagram, there's a video that I want you all to watch. How to tell, because someone in the audience asked me the question. I was speaking in Europe. How can you tell if someone's lying? That video has over 3 million views. And so if you can look at that and the tapes and make notes from that, it gives you the extended learning. So it's at Linda, Linda, Clemmons, Clemmons. I'll repeat it one more time on Instagram at Linda, Linda, Clemmons, Clemmons. See, that's my radio background. It's like repeating the number, repeating the thing. Okay. But yes, I
And if
enjoyed
they
you,
want you to
Deborah.
speak and can get in contact with you, is that at lindaclemmons.com?
Yes, they can do that or they can reach out to you.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Safe travels. I know you're in Cali. Have an amazing event there, and we do look forward to having you back on. Wealthy,
Thank you, Queen. Thank
love
you.
you.
Love you.
Thank you for listening to Wealthy Sistas Radio. This show is produced by Wealthy Sistas Media Group, where we believe meaningful work is built with intention through clarity, alignment, and thoughtful design. If today's conversation resonated and you'd like to learn more about how we work, details are available on our website. Until next time, thank you for listening.
The opinions of our guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosts, staff, or partners of Wealthy Sistas Radio.